World Wrestling Entertainment (WWE) has never been afraid to push the boundaries of sports entertainment. Over the decades, the company has introduced concepts that were bold, risky, and sometimes controversial. From Hell in a Cell matches to cinematic storytelling during the pandemic era, WWE has always experimented with ways to merge reality and fiction. Recently, WWE's chief content officer Paul Triple H Levesque stepped forward to defend one of the company's most criticized yet ambitious creative directions, an unreal concept that divided fans and critics alike. But what made his defense resonate wasn't just his words. It was the way he linked the controversial idea back to his own storied in-ring career, pointing toward a moment that has since become one of the most iconic snapshots in WWE history. In this in-depth feature, we explore the concept Triple H defended, the reason behind his stance, the legendary moment from his own past that he used as evidence, and how this debate once again highlights the thin line between innovation and tradition in WWE. WWE's history of unreal concepts. To understand why Triple H felt the need to defend WWE's experimental storytelling, we need to take a look at the company's creative history. Wrestling at its core is about storytelling, athleticism, and character work. However, WWE has always gone one step further by integrating entertainment elements that blur reality. In the 1990s, WWE pushed the envelope with The Undertaker's supernatural aura, buried alive matches, and even lightning bolts summoned during live shows. In the 2000s, the company experimented with cinematic matches, including the infamous House of Horrors and the bizarre Punjabi Prison. During the pandemic era, without live audiences, WWE leaned heavily into cinematic storytelling, such as the Boneyard match between AJ Styles and The Undertaker, which was widely praised. But not every unreal attempt has landed successfully. Fans often criticize the company when concepts seem too disconnected from the athletic realism of pro wrestling. The controversial concept in question. The most recent debate revolved around WWE introducing elements that some fans considered too cinematic or too far from reality. For example, supernatural storylines involving characters like Bray Wyatt's The Fiend, or the mysterious Uncle Howdy created a strong split in the audience. While some fans loved the creativity, others felt that wrestling should stay grounded in reality, emphasizing in-ring action over special effects. It was during this discourse that Triple H defended WWE's willingness to be unreal. Triple H's defense: wrestling is more than reality. Speaking to reporters at a recent media scrum, Triple H explained why WWE embraces concepts that push beyond the limits of realism. Greater than, wrestling has always been larger than life. If we strip it down to just holds and moves, we lose what makes it magical. It's about emotion, suspension of disbelief, and creating moments that people will never forget. For Triple H, the criticism of unreal storylines misses the bigger picture. He argued that WWE's greatest successes often came from ideas that didn't seem logical on paper but worked because of their execution and emotional payoff. The iconic moment from his career. To drive his point home, Triple H recalled one of the most unforgettable moments from his own career, his dramatic return from a career-threatening quadriceps injury in 2002. At the time, many doubted whether he could return to the ring at the same level. But WWE crafted his comeback in a way that felt almost superhuman. When Triple H walked into Madison Square Garden to thunderous applause after months of grueling rehabilitation, it became one of the loudest ovations in WWE history. Greater than, that night wasn't just about reality, Triple H said. It was about something bigger. It was about a hero returning against all odds, about defying what people thought was possible. Was it realistic for me to come back stronger after tearing my quad? Maybe not. But the way we told the story made people believe, and that's what matters. That MSG return encapsulates WWE's philosophy. Moments don't always have to make sense in a purely logical way, they have to make people feel. Fans react to Triple H's perspective. Unsurprisingly, Triple H's comments ignited a storm of debate online. Some fans praised him for defending creativity, while others remained skeptical. Supportive fans argued that WWE should never lose its sense of spectacle. They pointed to The Undertaker's decades-long success as proof that unreal storytelling can resonate deeply when executed properly. Critical fans countered that over-reliance on cinematic tricks could alienate audiences who prefer the athletic authenticity of pro wrestling. The debate highlights the eternal struggle in wrestling. Should it lean into being a legitimate combat sport or embrace its theatrical roots as sports entertainment? The role of supernatural and cinematic storylines. Triple H's defense also opened the door to discussing how supernatural and cinematic elements have played key roles in shaping WWE's identity. Characters like Kane, the Boogeyman, and Bray Wyatt brought something unique that pure athletes could not. Even in recent years, when AEW has focused on presenting wrestling more like a traditional sport, WWE has doubled down on spectacle. Whether fans love or hate it, these experiments often spark conversations that keep the company relevant. Triple H is a storyteller beyond the ring. It's also important to recognize that Triple H isn't just a retired wrestler, he's now the architect behind WWE's creative direction. His dual perspective as both performer and executive makes his defense more significant. As a wrestler, he lived through the highs and lows of creative gambles. As an executive, he now balances fan expectations with business goals. Defending WWE's unreal ideas isn't just about nostalgia, it's about his belief in storytelling as the company's core identity. The future of WWE's unreal concepts. Looking ahead, WWE will likely continue experimenting with creative ideas that blur the line between reality and fantasy. The company's upcoming premium live events already tease more spectacle-driven storylines. Triple H's defense suggests that fans should expect WWE to keep blending athleticism with theatricality. While not every experiment will succeed, the company's willingness to take risks is part of what has kept it in the cultural spotlight for decades.